Okay, everybody, Janpha Thadphoothon. This is my lecture uh, in cross-cultural communication. Um, what I'm going to talk to you today is the use of um, grammatical constructions, like some grammatical structure to help you uh, convey your politeness when you communicate cross-culturally. There are four of them. One, two, three, four. One, the use of passive voice, and two, use of hedging expressions, and three, use of tag questions or question tags, and fourth, grammatical construction is the use of modal verb. Uh, let's go through these topics one by one. Passive voice. Um, Passive voice is, as you know, a grammatical construction. This is where the subject of a sentence is not performing the action, but rather is having the action done to it. Passive voice can be useful in certain situations, such as when you want to emphasize the action or when you want to make the language more polite or less confrontational. Now, let's move on to the example. For example, it was believed that he ran away with the girl next door. This is a sentence. This is an example of passive voice. In this sentence, as you can see, the subject, it, is not performing the action, but rather the focus is on the action of belief and the object of the action. He ran away with the girls next door. So the use of passive voice in this case can suggest that the identity of the person or people who held the belief is not important or unknown. Another example is, I was told that you had been to North Korea. I was told that you had been to North Korea is another example of passive voice. The focus, as you can see in this sentence, is on the action of being told rather than on who did the telling or who went to North Korea. The use of passive voice in this case can create a sense of distance or detachment from the information being conveyed. So, kind of it is safer. So, politeness and passive voice, what's the relationship? Passive voice can be used to make language more polite. This is very important. In certain situations, this is because it can shift the focus away from the person, sorry, who is performing the action and onto the action itself, which can be seen as more respectful or differential. For example, instead of saying you made a mistake, you could say, a mistake was made. A mistake was made. So you are avoiding to putting the blame on other people. So this the conclusion. So passive voice can be a useful grammatical construction in certain situations, but it's important to use it appropriately and not overuse it. It's also worth remembering that the context and the level of formality required in the situation is very important, as there may be other ways to convey politeness and respect beyond just using passive voice. Okay, then move on to hedging. Hedging in communication is important. Um, yeah, the reason is that when you use um, hedging language, you can be polite because hedging can be used to show politeness and deference, especially when making requests or giving opinions. By hedging a statement, the speaker is indicating that they are open to other viewpoints and not trying to impose their own opinion or view on others. And you can use hedging to express caution when you are not certain or you lack the information. You can express your caution. This can be especially important in what I call scientific or academic contexts, where making unsupported claims can damage your credibility. And also, it is polite because it can be used to avoid offense, to avoid offending someone or other people or making them feel uncomfortable. By using more what we call diplomatic language, the speaker can express their point of view while minimizing the risk of causing offense or creating tension. And also, it's a way to show your modesty, to show your modesty or humility, especially in situations where the speaker is making a claim or expressing expertise. By hedging their language, the speaker can acknowledge that there may be other viewpoint or area of accuracy that are not familiar with. So hedging is a way of. Now look at the example. I'm not sure, but I think it might work in your situation. Is this a hedge? Okay, why? Because it indicates several elements. Number one, I'm not sure. The word I'm not sure is the phrase expressing doubt or uncertainty, indicating that the speaker is not completely confident in their assessment of the situation. And the word but, the conjunction is used to introduce a contrasting idea or to qualify a previous statement. So in this case, it suggests that the speaker is acknowledging that there may be other factors at play that could affect the outcome. I think it might. So this is also a phrase introducing a degree of tentativeness or speculation rather than making a definitive statement. You just propose. So it suggests that the speaker is offering a possible solution, but is not guaranteeing that it will work. So this is teaching. Um, shall we move on to yeah, the third topic, which is using tag question? Tag questions are a type of grammatical construction used in English, typically consisting a statement followed by a tag. So a tag is a short phrase that functions as a question. The question tag usually consists of an auxiliary verb or helping verb. For example, is, are, do, does, did, and a pronoun you, he, she. It. For example, this is very important in the sentence. You're coming to the party, aren't you? The statement is you are coming to the party, and the question tag is, aren't you? Tag question can be used to express a range of meanings, including seeking information or clarification, showing interest or concern, or expressing doubt or uncertainty. They are often used in conversation to engage the listener, and encourage a response. In terms of their structure, tag question typically follow certain patterns depending on the tense and subject of the statement. For example, in statements using the present tense, the question tag usually includes the helping verb do or does and the pronoun you, he, she, they. For statements using the past tense, the question tag usually includes helping verbs such as did uh, and the pronoun you, he, she, or they. Um, for example, you have submitted your assignment, haven't you? And you haven't submitted your assignment, have you? There are some differences. The two sentences have opposite meaning and use tag question to seek confirmation or clarification. So this is an example. So I'm moving on to the fourth one, which is the use of modal verbs. Modal verb can be used to show politeness when you communicate in the English language. They are auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, expressing the speaker attitude toward the main verb. For example, showing lots possibility, obligation, ability, or permission. Examples are the following: the use of could. Could. Now, this modal verb is used to express a polite request or asking permission. For example, instead of saying "pass me the salt," this is an order. You can say, "Could you please pass me the salt?" Or "Could I borrow your pen, please?" Another word is the word would. Can you use to express polite request offer? For example, would you mind closing the window, or would you like some coffee? Or you can use may to seek permission. For example, may I use your restroom? May I use the restroom? May I ask a question? Or you can use should when you make a suggestion in a polite manner to express obligatory or to express your duty. For example, you should try the seafood. Paella is delicious, or I should finish my report before the deadline. So just to sum it up, there are actually four ways to convey your politeness when you communicate in the English language: the use of passive voice, hedging, and the use of tag question, and the use of modal verbs. Thank you very much. Um, yep. If you like my show, don't forget to subscribe to Janpha channel.